Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel and not to the grow today. Today we're going to do an educational video talking about the importance of nutrients and how to use them properly. For me, I use organic most of the time, which when we're growing organic, we don't have to worry about a lot of factors as much. There tend to be slow release nutrients that don't need pH adjustments because the soil typically will buffer the pH levels, making the nutrients available. Talking about pH, the importance of pH for our cannabis plants, different pH levels allow different nutrients to be able to be picked up by the plant. So what's available at 6.5 pH might not be available at 7 pH. So that's kind of why it's important to maintain our pH throughout our grow, to make sure that our plants are able to receive the food that we're giving them. I use something like these. After I mix my nutrients individually, I mix them all together and then I test with these to find out what my pH is. Generally I want somewhere in between these two colors right here, and that's going to let me know that my pH is right where I want it. You can pick these up on Amazon, any pool test place. They're pretty well easy to find. Then what I got is Decine 420. This video isn't sponsored by them. I am an affiliate, so I'm going to have some links in the description of this video with a 20% discount code for anyone that is interested. Basically what I got in front of me is I have my different nutrients from Decine that I'll use at different stages of the plant's life. I have the base, which this is going to be used at all stages of life. And just to show you, I follow this schedule right here because I'm doing soil, not hydroponics. So coming down to here, it's the same schedule. The base you can see right here, it goes all the way through the whole grow. So we're going to be using that all the time, hence me having the bigger container of it. Then the grow, this one right here, I don't use as much of this and I tend to not veg my plants for very long, so I have the smaller container of it. And you can see that that one's pretty well used for the first, I'd say 6 weeks. If I'm going to be vegging my plant longer than 4 weeks, I'm going to be adding in between these ones right here, continuing these feeds. Then once, my veg weeks are done, I'd continue and just transition to flower. Over here we got our bloom nutrients, and these are going to be all the essential things that a cannabis plant would need during the flowering phase. It's important to make sure that we're feeding bloom nutrients as we transition to flower and in flower, vice versa with the grow stuff. We want to be feeding it in the veg cycle and a little transition into flower. That's just going to make sure that the plant has everything that it needs as it goes through its transitions. Over here, we got the infamous CalMag that everybody talks about. It doesn't take much. I just use a little bit every other feeding. And then we have our Bloom Booster, which is shock and awe from Decine 420, and this is very similar to what you find in here, but just better ratios in a sense. So that's basically the nutrients from Decine 420. Following this, so you have your EC and your ppm. Sorry, I'll use the correct one. Your EC and your ppm. And what those are measuring the amount of particles inside of your nutrient solution. The reason that I don't actually like to go by ppm and EC too much is because it's not actually guaranteeing that I have the right nutrients rather than the right amount of nutrients. So I could literally, in my veg cycle, I could dump a ton of this into my water, which is not what I want, but it will give me EC levels that I want. It's just not going to be what I should be feeding. So keep that kind of stuff in mind, that you're feeding what the plant needs when the plant needs it, and transitioning, so a little bit of forethought as you transition and you're kind of bringing in the new nutrients. So as I go from my final week of veg into my first week of bloom, I'm going to start introducing this in the last week of veg in smaller amounts, give the plant a little taste for it. Always pHing and checking things. You can use your digital meter, or these ones I prefer because I don't have to calibrate anything. It makes my life way easier, and it also is a lot cheaper. And then you need some sort of pH or pH up or pH down depending on your situation. For my specific situation, I only need to go with pH down. I never need to raise mine. There's all kinds of other things that you could add to your water to bring it up or down your pH, but a lot of them will be like temporary and they won't actually hold the pH at the level that you want it. So again, just be mindful that your pH is what it needs to be when it needs to be. I would recommend that after you do your nutrient mix and you get it into your water, you test it once and then you pH adjust, testing it again until it's at that sweet spot. These are the scoops that Dakine uses, so what I've gone ahead and done is one of these scoops is a different amount of weight for each one of these containers. And I just went ahead and wrote the amounts on top, so that way when it says I need to give 2 grams of this, I know I'm using almost a third of the scoop. So it makes my life a little bit easier. It's pretty well it. Just again, make sure you're feeding the right stuff at the right time. We can do all kinds of composts and banana teas and coffee grinds and all these other different types of things, and they'll work, but they won't work well and they'll cause you some unwanted problems, in the sense of like if I went and dumped a bunch of coffee grinds on my soil that were uncomposted, yeah, I'd get nitrogen, but I'd probably have an acidity issue causing like a pH imbalance that would in the long run give me more problems than solutions. So I strongly recommend using a cannabis specific nutrient for your plants. It's a high value crop. We wanna get something good out of it, so we wanna put something good into it, and that's why I support Dakine 420. My discount code will be in the bottom, but it's TFG 20%. It'll save you 20% on your order. You just gotta use my link to be able to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope some people learned a lot of valuable information. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like in the comments, and I can always improve the video. But this is kind of my first shot at taking my first shot at making a nutrient video. I just kind of winged it, as I do most things. But thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Join us in the Facebook group, the Friendly Growers Club. And in case you haven't noticed, that's my grow guide right there. Pick up yourself a copy on Amazon. They're like 20 bucks or something. It goes over all this types of information, breaks down what nutrients do what for the plant, and a lot more. But anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out and be safe.